My name is Alistair McKenzie. I am a former trial attorney, a small business owner, a developer, and one of the founders of A Storied Life. So there's both a micro aspect to this and a macro aspect to this. This is a problem I think a lot of places need solved besides Pensacola. We just happen to be from here, and so we're trying to solve the problem here first. And that problem, I think, is that there, in a lot of communities now, especially smaller communities like Pensacola, I guess secondary and tertiary markets is what they call them, there seems to be kind of a lack of local gathering places, especially ones that are designed to have families at them. In Pensacola, we lack that central gathering place for families. Number one, there's nowhere you can take families in Pensacola and have your kids kind of run around, while you can also be an adult and have like a cocktail and a meal with your spouse or your friends, and let your children kind of run around and have fun and know that there'll be other children there without having to worry about them running into traffic or something. And that's kind of where we came up with the idea for the yard. And we knew that instantaneously, trying to solve that problem, that it needed to be more than a food hall. We also in Pensacola have, like many other communities, we have a lack of diversity in the food businesses that are in Pensacola. It's a big access to capital kind of thing. A lot of people who would want to start up a food business don't have the capital, the access to the capital, or the resources and connections to get that capital to start up their food business. And oftentimes, those people who do have the access to the capital or get it, oftentimes fail because they don't have a lot of the information they need to start those businesses. So the incubation aspect of the food hall as well is a tremendous solution to a problem that a lot of communities, including Pensacola, face. Pensacola also, has activities sporadically kind of going on here and there, but there's no kind of like one central gathering place that people can know that there's always something exciting going on, and kind of like a low friction environment for people to meet and get to know one another too, with it being like a food hall and an events place complex. Not everything is centered around just drinking, and so there's like a market aspect to it. There's a food aspect to it. There's also alcohol if you want that. And then there's also events going on. All of those events and food and different things provide different opportunities for people to come in contact with one another, and speak with one another, and form friendships, relationships, all those things. And we see that in the society that we currently live in now, especially post-COVID, is that people are kind of like desiring that human connection. And what the food hall does is it brings people together over food, which is basically how civilization started, and gives people an opportunity to come together over a table, break bread, and get to know one another. We know from looking at food halls across the country and across the world that this is a winning formula, and we know that these kinds of businesses are wildly successful because they get at the very heart of what it means to be a human being and what it means to have a community. So essentially, the problem we're trying to solve is the fun things to do for families, a safe place to be for families, all kinds of diverse food options for families. You'll no longer have the problem of, well, Bob, what do you want to eat for dinner? I don't know. Jenny, I want to eat this. You want to eat that? I've been there 1,000 times. Well, you can go to the food hall and there's 10 different options there. So everybody can kind of get theirs, including the kids, so everybody can be satisfied with their choices. They don't have to feel like they have to get up from the table when they're done eating, because it's not a traditional sit-down restaurant where tables need to be turned. I'm starting to ramble at this point. So.